12 o'clock. We got to get started, man.
Wait. Let me make sure I know what's under here for the doodahs people. Okay. Somebody just has to remind me.
Cool. Yes, it is 12 o'clock, as we always do. Try to start on time so we don't get in trouble. So I just want to welcome everybody, whether you're a Rotarian or a guest. We hope you, just glad you're down here to the TCC, the home of the Rotary Club of Tucson. So a couple of things before we get started. I'd like to ask for a moment of silence, if I may. Two issues. First off, this is the 90th day since Russia's unprovoked attack on Ukraine and in their attempt to destroy the country. And again, with the help of the free world, they will not be successful. I'm also very sad to say that former member Lynn Detmanson recently passed away. In a couple of weeks, we'll be doing a special tribute to him from John Wong. I just want you to know that. So we could take a moment of silence just in recognizing those folks. Thank you. Now I'd like to call up Tom Licklider. This is that time where we do the pledge and song. Tom is a recent addition to our club. He joined in February of this year. Classification marketing, website design, and digital marketing. He is with Anchorwave, a company I use quite a bit, and he's a proud graduate of Pima Community College. He's asked for a couple of, like an extra minute, because he has something he wants to share before he does the pledge. And then afterwards, he's going to lead us in the singing of the Star Spangled Banner with our pal Chris accompanying him on Jen the piano. Tom.
Thank you, President Mark. As Mark mentioned, I joined Rotary just a few months ago, and I absolutely love the fact that every single month we stand and we give our Pledge of Allegiance. This country needs more of that attitude and that demeanor. However, I have noticed, and I am certainly to blame myself, that occasionally we just kind of go through the motions, like we have since, elementary school? I pledge allegiance to the flag. Not today. Today I'm asking you to focus and concentrate on the words that we're saying. The honor, the respect, and the privilege that we have to give our pledge of our allegiance to that flag. So let's stand up straight with our shoulders back, and let's enunciate our words today with honor. Let us begin. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Didn't that feel good? Amen. All right, let's start with the song. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. May God bless America.
Next up, our pal Mitch Piesick with our, Curtis Dawson with our inspiration. Curtis joined our club in May of 18, classification Community and Social Services, YMCA, and he's a graduate of Evergreen State College, and he's also very active on the board of directors. Curtis.
You notice it's our pal, Mitch, and just Curtis. But that's okay. I might have to quit your board early, Mark. Yeah, that's better. I feel better now. For today's inspiration, I want us to recognize the incredible community we live in. I know we aren't perfect, but we have so many strengths. One of our greatest strengths is when the inspiration is going on, we start talking. Just checking. Let's start that over. One of our greatest strengths are the people who live here. People who step up to make a positive difference. People who know the grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. There are so many organizations that truly are Tucson treasures. We have one here today that is going to be our program celebrating 40 years in Tucson. They have funded over $29 million and impacted over 1 million children in our community. Honestly, I feel they are a kindred spirit with Rotary because of what we do every single year. They epitomize service above self, and they truly embody the quote by Mahatma Gandhi that says, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." A life is made up by the direction of your energy in the moments. May we continue to invest our energy to make a tangible difference in the lives of children in our community. Thank you.
Didn't my pal Curtis do a great job? I'm just saying. Hey, please enjoy your lunch and some fellowship. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with a great program. Enjoy.
We implemented something really nice at our board meeting the other day. Curtis talked too long. He was allotted 1 minute, and he went on for 17. And so we got the hook out here, and I've been told I'm allowed to use that if you go over your time limit. And here's the hook, and it has a horn. And when the loud table's here, they can help me with screams of more. And I'm surprised that you're not screaming that. And there's also one other thing that you might hear. Play it, guys.
Be brief, be bright, be gone.
And I'm out of here.
I love our own Be Brief, Be Bright, Be Gone jingle. Really tickled. I wanted to tell you something you don't know about the two wonderful women that are up here next to me with Angel Charity. And Charlotte came and brought this to my attention. Where do you think their husbands went to high school? Thank you, Bob. Yeah. So just so you know. So really tickled today to have Angel Charity here. If you turn your attention to the big screens, we're going to do a little video introduction that our pal Matt Russell and Rick Rose did for us. So Switcher team, if you'd please run that video, I'd appreciate it.
Karen Farrell is the sales manager at Venture West Real Estate Services. She grew up as a military kid and has lived in Tucson since 1975. Karen attended the University of Arizona, where she received her degree in accounting and started her career at Coopers & Lybrand as a CPA. She then moved to Venture West, where she served as the CFO before moving into their commercial real estate division. Karen has served on numerous boards and committees, including CREW, or Commercial Real Estate Women, Salpointe Catholic High School, Saints Peter and Paul Church, FC Tucson Youth Soccer Club, Brewster Center, the Father's Day Council, and several other nonprofits over the years. She's been a member of Angel Charity for Children for 12 years and is currently serving as the General Chair for 2022. So let's have a compassionate welcome for Karen Farrell.
Wow, a video introduction. That was kind of fun. I'm Karen Farrell, as you know from the video, and I brought with me today Adrianna Rincon, because my co-chair Jill couldn't be here. So I want Adrianna to come up and tell us a little bit about her, because she's kind of going to be my little wingman today.
Good morning. My name is Adrianna Rincon. I'm a local Tucsonan. I grew up here on the west side. I went to school in South Tucson with my mom, who was a teacher. I graduated from Cholla High School, not South Point, but you still love me, right? Okay. The last time I was here was when Bob and Daryl nominated my husband and I for a Paul Harris Fellow. So thank you so much. That really meant a lot to us. But going back to a little bit about me, so I grew up here. I went to Cholla High School, and then, actually South Tucson. Then I was bused to the east side as part of the desegregation and the gifted program. Then I went back to my roots on the west side, Cholla High School, graduated in 1985. My claim to fame is I was a head cheerleader for Sean Elliott. So he and I were voted most likely to succeed, but he got his NBA contract before I married my husband. So, but my father served on the city council. He's a retired military. My mom was a retired principal. So I really thought that I knew the needs of Tucson. I really thought growing up here and my experiences all over the city. And not until I joined Angel Charity in 2010 did I realize I was just scratching the surface. I had no idea the needs in our community, but even better, I discovered all the nonprofits helping serve the needs. So I've been so excited to serve here. I am the past general chair, so that's why I think Karen brought me. I'm pinch hitter, I'm just last minute here. I'm kind of retired, but I always come out and support Angel Charity whenever they need me. So I'll pass back to Karen.
Thanks, Adrianna. So we're really honored to be here in front of, the Rotary Club, and I love the Rotary Club. My husband's a Rotarian as well. And you guys do so much in the community. You're also a huge Tucson treasure. All of your clubs that are all over, and all the the really neat things you do for everyone in the community is really cool. Angel Charity for Children is celebrating our 40th year, as someone may have mentioned. You can see on the screen. And we have been known for many years as Tucson's halo for hire, so to speak. Nonprofits come to us. In the early days, we were kind of known as the bricks and mortar. If someone wanted a building, if someone wanted something done, and as prices have gone up and things have escalated, we've branched out into programs, and as Adrianna mentioned a few minutes ago, there is so much need in our community that we see every single year when these nonprofits come to us. So an angel is very near and dear to my heart, just as you serve as an angel, and there are several other angels in the room today, including one of our guardian angels, Adeline Clemenson, and Joyce Roughton, and Sue Rogers. So I'm very excited that they're also here today supporting us. So first up, we have our mission statement, which I guess everyone has. And really, the mission statement is about Angel Charity supporting the children of Pima County. So everything that we do serves the children in our own community, not anywhere else in the state. We also, which was mentioned in one of the introductions, over the years have served over 1 million children, 40 years, almost 29 million. At the end of this year will be 30 million because our goal this year is quite large. So that'll be very exciting. We have about 250 members, and our members are amazing, amazing members that we've had. I'm going to let Adrianna tell you a little bit about our history.
So we have been around for 40 years. We are celebrating our 40th. It started with two women, Louise Thomas and Jean Lowe Sharples. Louise Thomas had a son, I believe it was 9 at the time, who was battling cancer. And what I love about Louise is that she turned a very painful tragedy, huge amount of grief, because she lost her son, into something very positive. And that's part of my inspiration for getting involved. We have a very similar journey, is that taking something so painful, the grief, and turning it into something very positive, and that's when Angel Charity was born. They decided to get together and create this energy that has to go somewhere and put it into some really good work in our community by retiring the Ronald McDonald House mortgage back then. And since then, we have touched all walks of life, all kinds of nonprofits. The only thing we ask is that the nonprofits serve the needs of children in Pima County. It can be on needs of education, health and welfare, medical, enrichment, sports. We don't limit ourselves. As long as it's serving needs of children in Pima County, you qualify. So.
Who we are. So who we are, Angel Charity, we have 250 approximate members, active, 10 plus, sustaining members. We're from all walks of life. We're business owners, we're young mothers, we're retired. We do have men. We do, it's not all women.
We're looking for men.
We're looking for more men. We're looking to diversify. Yes. These are just a few pictures. We do like to have some fun. Some of them are from our most recent spring event we had out at the barn, where we had 30 local vendors, and we had shopping, and we had fashion show, whiskey tasting for the men, because we like to have men get involved. And we also, earlier last week, had the groundbreaking for the zoo for their new World of Play, of which Adrianna spearheaded the fundraising for that with her year. So Angel Charity has 3 active guards. Adeline Clemenson, we call them guardian angels, not guards, because that sounds sort of scary, like they're guarding the jail. But guardian angels, we have Adeline Clemenson, we have Margaret Larson, and we have Cheryl Cox. And Louise Thomas, our founder, is also one of our guardian angels, but she is not as active. So we have them, and then we have, every year they pick a different chair and vice chair. So you're kind of thrown in the mix and have all new committees. It's much like a business, the way it's run. So we have, our charity selection committee, we have our underwriting committee, we have our casino gifts, chance tickets, silent auction. So it is a collaboration of all these amazing women that come together to raise the money every year. So Halo for Hire, let's talk about how we pick our beneficiaries. So every year in the fall, we ask nonprofits to come, and we have a little seminar for them and educate them. How do you apply for a small grant? How do you apply for a large grant? What are the qualifications? Really, the qualifications are you serve the needs of children under 18, you have to have your 501c3 status for a minimum of 3 years. And other than that, we don't have a lot of other, qualifications. So we have our Halo for Hire, and then we go through our whole charity selection process. So that process involves a committee of 30 women. And this is why people call us Angel Charity is Halo for Hire, because we vet our charities, our nonprofits that come to us. We have a committee of 30 members, 10 advisors, and the advisors, we look at their financial statements. We look at, do they qualify? So we go through the whole realm. The other 30 members, or not the other 30, it's a total of 30, we sit for 3 days and listen to presentations. So, and at the end of that 3 days, we choose our small beneficiaries, and then we pick our large beneficiaries to go and present to our membership. So our membership ultimately decides who our large charities are each year. And that's how they're chosen. And it's a very exciting day, and usually the end of February, beginning of March, and we all come together, we find out what the voting is, and then we call them on our cell phones, and they're on the other end, and everyone screams. It's very exciting. So then we're partners with them.
Can I interject?
Yes.
So something that's really important to know is that we vet them. We are probably the toughest vetting process in Tucson. We ask for tax records, we reports, missions, how many people do you have on staff, what's the student-teacher ratio, if there is that type of mission. So we consider ourselves very, very wise stewards, because we're going to start working for them. We're going to work for a year for them raising money. And we need to make sure that we feel good about they are solid and sustainable, because we're committed to raising approximately $1 million to our two large. The smalls, they love that. It's funny, a small grant for us is under $100,000. But when Karen delivered checks this past year to our 5 smalls, was it 6? 7 smalls, it was life-changing for them and their nonprofit. You say this is a small grant, but this couldn't make a bigger impact at the right time. That's kind of cool to deliver those checks, and they get it immediately. Whereas the large ones were committing to saying, I'm going to go out there and fundraise on your behalf. So it's quite the commitment. So I want to make sure that when I go and talk to a donor and say, would you consider making a $25,000 donation, I need to make sure that they know that we have vetted them, and they're going to be around, and they're going to be serving the needs that they said they would.
Thanks, Adrianna. She's an amazing wingman, because she did this last year, so I look up to her a lot. So once we have our beneficiaries, well, before we talk about the beneficiaries this year, I know you can't read this, I don't expect you to read it, but this book here that is available over by the raffle and over on the other this really tells a lot about what we talked about today. It gives you information about our beneficiaries. It gives you in the back, if you want to go, it'll give you by year who we've given to. So if you drive around Tucson, you will see Literacy Connects, Make Way for Books, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Diaper Bank, Tucson Village Farm Culinary Center. You will, if you just start noticing, oh, this Angel Charity seems to be everywhere. So it's really a work of love to be able to give to these nonprofits. And being on that charity selection committee, that is the heart and soul of Angel, because when you sit on that committee, you just want to give everybody money, even though you can't, because, the board has only approved a certain amount of money, but you want to give everybody money. So we have a very long history of giving, which we're very, very proud of. And of all of the nonprofits that we've given to, I believe they're all except one still in existence. which
May I interject?
also goes to the vetting.
One of the exciting things that once you're selected by Angel Charity, it's like a good housekeeping seal of approval. What we've noticed is it takes them to the next level. It takes them to the next stratosphere. Now that they've gone through a very rigorous process, they apply for other grants and they get higher exposure. So that's also exciting to see them being launched on a higher exposure.
Definitely. Tucson Village Farm is a really good example of that. They came to us years ago asking for seed money to start a new program so that they can teach elementary students about raising vegetables and learning how to eat better and being healthy. And then that progressed to years later. They came to us, I think, 3 years in a row trying to get funding for their culinary kitchen. So if you know a nonprofit out there, and there's a few in the room that have actually presented in front of Angel, and I know Mark says he was intimidated, but that's kind of hard to believe. We tell them don't give up because every year is different. You don't know what the different collaborations are between the nonprofits and who needs money one year versus another year. So Tucson Village Farm was a perfect example. They actually applied 3 times before they were selected as a large beneficiary, and then built their beautiful culinary kitchen, which they're doing amazing things with now. So this year's large beneficiaries are Youth on Their Own and NAMI. The Youth on Their Own bought a building on Country Club, and they came to us and asked us for $750,000 to renovate that building so that they can expand their programs and be able to serve more youth and better serve the current youth that they have. Their current facility on Alvernon has a very small mini mall, and that's where students can go and they can get supplies, they can get food, they can get bedding, lots of things that you don't think some of these kids, they really don't have this, and it gives them an opportunity. This organization is amazing. Their biggest goal is to help these students graduate from high school. And so they have all these programs in place. They have counselors. They have people to help them get into college after they're done with high school, with high school when they do graduate. And so it's an amazing program. The other large beneficiary this year is National Alliance on Mental Illness, and that is a program where they go into schools and they do presentations. And the program is called Ending the Silence, and it really tries to take the stigma off mental illness for these kids. So they have ambassadors that go in, tell their journey through mental illness and what their journey has been over the years. And so it helps these kids then come forward and ask for help and not be afraid. Our small beneficiaries, we had 7 of them this year. I won't talk about all of them, but they're quite diverse. You can see we have an amazing Boys to Men program. Nourish TMC Foundation was for a giraffe bed. YWCA was for a teen court. El Rio was to set up a pediatric mental illness program, which is amazing. Tucson Girls Chorus scholarships. Junior Achievement was for more remote learning. And Nourish was to help babies with birth defects and with feeding issues. So these are who we're raising money for this year. So $1,138,000 is our goal. So our upcoming events. So how do we raise our money? We raise our money by donors. We raise our money businesses. We have several events. We have our spring event. We have our fall event, which is our poker event, which is in October. I'm sure some of you have all been. Then we have our ball. Now, our ball is not like other nonprofit balls. Our ball, that's not where we don't have people come to our ball and ask them for money, except for silent auction and maybe gambling. But our ball is a celebration of all the hard work that our members have done during the year. We have an entire underwriting committee and other angels that go out and solicit donors, solicit businesses, sponsors, and so our ball is a celebration of reaching our goals. So that makes us a little bit different in that we work hard. But really, Angel Charity is an amazing organization, and it's not about me as a leader. It's about all the members and how they all come together and they work. It's this huge collaborative team. And they all have passion, and they all are doing it for their different reasons. Adrianna has her story. Everybody has a different why. Why are we doing it? Why are we working so hard? Why are we on these committees and working hard? So, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, just we are a cross section of Tucson. There's women there that I probably would have never had the opportunity to meet, but because the one common goal is that we have that in mind, we want to give to our community. We want to give back. We're invested in our community, making it better what we can touch. So I've been blessed by that. I always like to say we work hard, we play hard. And it just feels good to go around and say we touched that, we touched that. I don't have grandchildren yet, no pressure on my girls yet, but I'm looking forward to someday saying I was a part of the team that helped that. I was a part of the team that helped that. I did my part. I'm trying to do my part.
So I really appreciate you guys listening to us. I'm glad I didn't get that big hook that was around here somewhere. And I
had your back. I had your back, just in case.
And I encourage you to pick up one of our, we call it Community Impact Brochure because it has all the numbers and the information. And then this year, Tucson Lifestyle, because of our 40th anniversary, they did this amazing supplement that was just in the May issue of Tucson Lifestyle. It started out, it was supposed to be 16 pages, but we had such amazing support from our community for ads that it ended up being a 31-page supplement. So it's a really fun bedtime reading, but you'll find out a lot of things in here that you may not have known about Angel that will help supplement what I said today, because I'm sure I didn't touch on everything. But thank you so much for having us, and it was a pleasure, and thank you again for everything you do in our community.
Would you mind? Thank you so much. We should applaud. Could we ask a couple questions from you?
Yes.
Mitch Piesik has one.
Thanks. With your permission, I'm going to give you a plug. When I moved here 8.5 years ago, I was asking around about different charities and all, and your name kept coming up twice. Once about the great work you do, which you really do, and two, how amazing your ball is. And I was there that year. It was the Cirque du Soleil theme, which I still think was the best, right? But I'm just telling everyone here, if you got nothing going on in, well, you took it down, but in October, the
December
15th, it's outstanding. It really is. It's a great cause, and it's a great event.
Thank you, Mitch.
Like I said, we play hard. We work hard, play hard, and it's a beautiful event. You forget you're in Tucson. The La Paloma is transformed to something new. And I don't know, Karen is not sharing with me the theme this year. That's held under secrets until later in the fall.
Yes, our theme is always held a secret. In the fall, we reveal it. So then people can, but it's always an amazing time.
If you have a fly fishing theme this year, talk to that guy right there. He can help you out. I'm just saying.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I can just see the La Paloma being transformed into ponds and fish.
Right. I mean, yeah, and we won't take credit for that if you do it, but like it could be a winner.
Yeah.
I'll hand it back to you, President Mark.
Okay, thank you.
I will tell you, having had a chance to present to the Angels a number of times, Karen is incorrect. It is a very intimidating process. Adeline knows this. You know, you'll go to the first thing and there's 30 women there that you get past that, and then if you get past that, then you get to go visit with the other 250 of them. So it is intimidating. I always say to people when they say, that was a lot of work to not have won if you didn't win, and I always say to them, what didn't you win? You just had a chance to meet 250 of the most amazing women in town. Anyway, I think there's a lot of similarities in our groups. 250, 250. Check this out. They're looking for men. What are we looking for? Women. Okay, you guys got it. And collectively, you know, we're getting close to 150 years old, so that's pretty fun. And by the way, I think Richard White was probably the first token male until they threw him out of Angel, but I'll let him address that. So I want to say, Karen, thank you for a great presentation. They have signed, if you wouldn't mind holding up, it's a really cool book. Don't you love our staff that finds this? A book called Angel. So that's going to find its way to make way for books, libraries. We continue to focus on children's literacy in our community. So thank you for that presentation. So we've got a happy birthday. I'm going to ask Scott Vaughn to come up, and actually Scott's going to stay with us for a little bit. But he joined our club in September of 2001. Classification is retired finance media. Arizona Public Media. He was their 89th president during 2009 and 10. So here's some stuff. I know you're just sitting on the edge of your seat for this. Did you know that Scott danced on Bandstand at age 12? Check this out. How about that he could not make up his mind and he gave 2 different girls carnations at school, and Margie was not one of them. Scott joined our club in 2001 after his first attempt, and 75 was blocked. He can tell you about that. He stays in our club because he loves our community service and the lifetimes of friendships that he's developed. And to make our club even better, he's going to focus on Paul Harris Fellowship presentations, and obviously, like all of us, working on the car show. Scott.
I really tried to get into this damn club, and I was with K-Gun TV for a while, and I got into management. I figured I could build my business. Nope, there's already a TV guy in. Then I went to Merrill Lynch. Nope, there's already one of those guys in. And finally, the rules changed, and Brett Houston invited me to join the club, and I've been in for 20 years now, and it's a blessing to me. This is not about my birthday. Margie and I have been blessed with a teenager in the house for the last 5 years. Tonight she graduates from Catalina Foothills High School. It's our granddaughter, Grace Vaughn Sachs, age 18. She graduates with honors and grades and a resume and all that stuff, and we're already celebrating. My son Bobby is here from North Hollywood, and his girlfriend Rachel is here. And in the car I said, Bob, do you live in North Hollywood or do you live in Burbank? He says, North Hollywood. I said to Rachel, what's your town nearby? She says, Claremont. And Bob says, soon, North Hollywood. So this is how I'm learning about the growth of the relationship. Yes, indeed. Well, every day I do learn more. And also from Sterling, Virginia, Maddie Bergeson is not with us today, but she's my niece, and she came in for the graduation. And Maddie and her family in Sterling, Virginia, are opening their home to Gracie and their hearts to Gracie for the next 4 years or so, as she attends Virginia Tech University in Blacksburg, Virginia, and gets to come home to a nearby home. So we're really grateful, and we love the fact that we have extended family in that area. Grace will attend Virginia Tech, yes, then law school, and she wants to be a lawyer in Washington, D.C. Why? Because she thinks the important decisions are made there. I think that's really cool. So we're grateful that Grace has a couple of scholarships, including a Rotary scholarship. Now listen carefully. The Casas Adobes Rotary Club scholarship. Honest. Thank you.
So I told you Scott wasn't going to go far because this is a fun part. We've got a couple of Paul Harris fellowships that we're going to be presenting, both to Wes and to Dan. So Scott, back to you.
Thank you. Gentlemen, come on up, please. Thanks. Gentlemen, here are some certificates. Wesley H. Higgins, Dan DeVoe, I thank you. Oh, that's good too. Well, listen, in a time when communities need our help more than ever, Rotary members have been making a difference. Rotarians together have funded thousands of projects across the world, providing resources to Ukraine refugees, COVID health recovery efforts, and of course, our continued fight to end polio, and so much more, no matter how large a problem may seem. So thanks to you, and you, and you, and our fellow Rotarians across the globe, providing these kind of opportunities. So today we recognize two of our members who've helped make this happen through their support of Rotary International. And now they're holding their certificates, they're wearing their pins. Dan DeVoe is receiving his Paul Harris Fellow. His degree is from San Jose State University, and he played music and worked for Memorex part-time to put himself through school. And then he served in the United States Navy as a pilot. A fascinating array of careers and interests followed until Dan and Lynn moved to Oro Valley 2 years ago. For 18 years, Dan supported the downtown San Jose Rotary Club, supporting all that club's projects as Lynn was the member there, as she is here. Thank you, Lynn. And then Dan found out about the family member option here at our club, which is a really great option, and officially joined in early 2021. So you would guess correctly that he became involved immediately. For the Classics Car Show, he worked in the area of signs and banners, and Dan's also attends the annual district conference as well as our meetings, learning about the impact that Rotary has at the club, the district level, and as well as globally. Dan is proud to be a Rotarian, and when asked why he supports Rotary International programs, he responds, because of the impact that Rotary International has on the world stage. Thank you, Dan DeVoe, for your decades of support. Now Wesley Wiggins is receiving his Paul Harris Fellow. Wes grew up in Louisville. He attended Western Kentucky University and then joined the United States Army. He moved to Tucson in 1988 to work as manufacturing supervisor for Burr Brown. Remember them? It later became Texas Instruments, and eventually Wes found real estate. His first real estate, he was a real estate agent, and then he was vice president of multiple listing services for the Tucson Association of Realtors. He left here for a bit to become CEO of a regional MLS in South Florida, and it was there that he fully realized his love for Tucson. So Wes is now Director of Industry Relations with Zillow, but he's working from home. Choosing to make Tucson his permanent home, he realized that he had a responsibility to do whatever he could to support and improve the community. And to that end, he graduated Greater Tucson Leadership, then began supporting local nonprofits and joined Rotary. Wes supports Rotary because you can't get more bang for the buck. Rotary affects positive change locally and internationally, and the friendships and fellowships are unequaled. Congratulations on your Paul Harris Fellow, Wes, and thank you for your support of Rotary programs. One more thing, you know, in regards to doing a little something extra and giving a gift of little or no value, we have that for you. And Dan, this is a special edition of the Tucson Book of Lists. It provides content information for every business you ever want to talk to. And Wes, thank you. This is a lucky putter. It's not just an ordinary putter because we understand you need to improve your game. Now let's hear it for our honorees.
Thank you.
Scott, well done. Well done. Time for a history moment. Charlotte Harris. Charlotte joined our club in November 2000, over 20 years ago. Classifications education, administrative secondary. She's a proud graduate of the University of Arizona. She's been recognized by so many awards by our club, I won't even get started. She's always my best resource for anything to do with club history. Bruce, pay attention to that. That was a little tip I got from both Dorina and from Jen. And she was our club's 88th president during 2008 and 9. Charlotte.
Got it. Today we're going to visit briefly 4 different history moments. Number 1, the picture on the screen is the grandfather of current fellow Rotarian Jim Wood Jr. It is Bill Wood, who was our club's president in 77-78. Jim's grandmother recently found a special envelope from 1955 and gave it to Jim. Incidentally, Jim's father, Jim Wood, was also a member of our club, making current Jim a third-generation Rotary Club of Tucson member. And here is the envelope that Jim's mother gave him for our club's archives. You can tell it is from the golden anniversary of Rotary International with a first day of issue stamp commemorating that 50th anniversary in 1955. Jim is watching us from home today, and we ask him to please thank his grandmother for this special memento of our for our club archives. Number 2, does anyone recognize this picture from an earlier history moment? It is a Boy Scout building that our club built, completed in 1957 in the El Rio neighborhood. For our club's project for the golden anniversary of Rotary International, we completely furnished the building, and through the years, repairs, landscaping, maintenance, and financial assistance were provided by our club. Fellow Rotarian Bill Long was the scoutmaster for 17 years of the Boy Scout troop that met in that building. Well, my curiosity got me, and I wanted to know if that building was still standing. And I knew that it was originally across from the El Rio school. So I took a drive by the school, and on the last corner, I believe I found the building. Oops. There it is. It looked like the front door. And when I turned the corner, I knew I'd found it because there were the signature boards coming off that roof, creating a 45-degree angle to the ground. I hope you can see these special boards as I hurriedly took the picture and left. Number 3. Several weeks ago, Joni Condon did a presentation on our club's foundation, which included the mention of our Chaparrallis Endowed Scholarship Fund. The Chaparrallis Rotary Club of Tucson Graduate Student Scholarship was created to meet Mrs. Chaparrallis' request that by receiving her scholarship and earning their advanced degree at the University of Arizona, a Hispanic student receiving the scholarship would be more likely to remain in Tucson following their advanced degree graduation. Hispanic students could attend an undergraduate college of their choice, any place, but Maine U of A campus studies were required for the scholarship. The scholarship was established by a promissory note from the estate of Josefina del Chaparrallis of $50,000 paid in full during Rotary year 89-90 to establish an Hispanic scholarship fund for a University of Arizona graduate student. For historical purposes, it is noted that family members contested the bequest, and our club members appealed to the Court of Appeals and the Arizona Supreme Court, and the bequest came to our Rotary Club per the desires of Mrs. Chaparrallis. To be eligible, the applicant must be a U of A degree-seeking graduate student in good academic standing, admitted to the doctoral or master's main campus program in one of the departments listed on the screen. Note also, as listed on the screen, that online and distant degree-seeking students are not eligible. She wanted these kiddos to stay in town. Number 2, the student must demonstrate sufficient need. Number 3, be an Arizona resident with Southern Arizona preferred and a full-time student. Number 4, demonstrate knowledge and an understanding of and a willingness to serve the Latino community. Current funds provided now annually include $6,000 from our club, $11,500 from the U of A Graduate College, and $6,000 available, if available, from the U of A Hispanic Alumni, which is under the umbrella of the U of A Foundation and the U of A Alumni Association. Application for the scholarship is completed through the U of A Graduate College website. Selection is made by a committee of the U of A Hispanic Alumni Association. Last year's recipient was a first-generation Chicana pursuing a PhD in science education who had seen firsthand the lack of Hispanic and indigenous perspectives on the field of STEM education. She's seeking this degree from the College of Education. Her background is that she taught at a high school with a majority Latinx population and has the goal of being a teacher-researcher to find a way to teach high schoolers how to understand the world without harming it. This year's recipient has not yet been announced. Don't get the hook. Number 4, finally, on each of your tables is a copy of some poetry that was created in 95-99 by then fellow Rotarian Bill Wallace. Ben owned a well-known dry cleaning business, and after he retired, he had some extra time on his hands and decided to write poetry and did so about each club member. The list on the screen are those individuals who were members then and are members now, 26 years later, and Ben's work is fun to read. And yes, a number of these members have since moved on from their vocation at that time. If you're on the list, would you please stand up to be recognized for your 26 years as a member? Are there many of you here?
I'm not on the list, but I should be.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you. If you've not already shared this poetry at your table, you may want to stay a few minutes after to enjoy the poems or take it with you. In closing, I want to thank you for your interest in our 100-year legacy. Thanks.
Charlotte, thank you. By the way, did anybody hear a phone go off?
Yes.
Phil, I think Doreena's looking forward to getting your $100. This is that time where we get to welcome a new member. Vic Jacobs is going to come and do that. She joined our club in April of 2003, classification real estate sales. She's with Tierra Antigua downtown, a proud graduate of the U of A. And guess what? She's our reigning March Madness winner, and she's introduced a new member, Nancy Farrell. Vic.
Hi, everybody. So today it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Nancy Farber. Nancy was born and raised in a suburb outside of Detroit, Michigan. She attended Ferris State University. She majored in court reporting. There she met, loved, and created with Clem Farber, her husband. They opened their freelance court reporting firm together in the late 60s. They recorded depositions throughout the country for the next 35 years, after which Nancy enjoyed being a personal shopper. She had 3 children who currently live in Nevada, the Virgin Islands, and Tucson. Alrighty, I didn't bring my glasses. She moved to Scottsdale in the early 2000s and opened up the Pink Pineapple Cakery. It was a home bakery business. Alrighty, while caring for her husband Clem at home. They closed the bakery due to COVID, and she currently opened up a company called Fab with Us with her daughter Shayna. And Shayna came to a couple of our meetings. They handcraft gift and party items for all ages. They create wonderful mosaic items from chairs, tables, mannequins, and presently they are working on a fairy garden at Nancy's home. Alrighty. I have had the pleasure to get to know her pretty well over this last year. She is extremely talented, optimistic, and easy to get along with. All right? Even when she's in pain. She broke her knee last December. Alrighty? So someone who is very fun, Nancy Farber.
Well, thank you, Vicki Jacobs, for such a wonderful introduction. I believe that we can make our own happiness, and I am standing up here as a proud member of the Tucson Rotary Club. I want to get involved in all the many committees, the big fundraiser, the car show. I'm going to go downtown and ring that Salvation Army bell like I did in Detroit in the middle of winter.
Charlotte, your mentor.
Oh, sure. And a week and a half ago, I attended a STAR meeting at the Humane Society, and I learned that my new mentor is Charlotte Harris, and I am so excited to work with Charlotte and Vicki Jacobs and be very involved in the Rotary Club of Tucson. I'm glad to see all the Rotarians here and your guests, and thank you very much.
Welcome. So you got a little raffle going on over there? Huh? Is it up? Are we over $400?
It's happening as we speak.
Are we over 400?
Okay, so President Mark says, like, I'm not buying any tickets until we get over 400. So we got to hold him to it next week because we're like at 450 right now.
Okay, see?
So Mark's in and we'll be over. And if you contribute enough next week, we'll be over 500.
Cool.
Unless Karen picks the King of Clubs today. So here's the King of Clubs. I'm going to put it in the deck. But I have $53 in my pocket that you win regardless. So look at your tickets right now. And Karen even played. This is how wonderful of a person she is. Look at that. And here we go. 583-737. Is there a winner? Did you win? She won. Give it up.
Cool. You know, it's really a shame that Phil didn't win. He might need some help paying that fine.
I know, right? Exactly. Jeez. Next to Joni Condit, that's the second angel that's won our raffle ever. So look at that. There you go, man. Congratulations.
Chris, thank you.
You bet.
Okay, so power through a couple of announcements. So I'm not going to give any more details about the deck rank. That'll be coming as we get a little bit further along. But we did get a little video that the kids sent. We want to play that for you really quick. Just a quick thank you. Can we pull it up and play that by chance?
Thank
yes, they're kids, and yes, they're goofy. And by the way, one thing that they didn't talk about, they also helped Boys and Girls Club on a number of things in the past as well. Next up, it's that time for that fly fishing slide. And I'm going to ask Dot Credit, she would come up here for just a second. There's a part of that I think, can you pull up that slide that's, not yet. Okay, don't do it yet. Okay, stop right there. Go ahead, Dot.
Sorry. So for those of you who know me, you know that when it comes to gambling, I don't play that game. And when it comes to fishing, the answer is the same. But thanks to President Mark, I did it on a lark. Now I'm on the Fishing Wall of Fame. Thank you.
I just love that. So Dot sends this photo and with all the fish in the background and stuff, and she said, I want to donate $33.78 to the fishing fund. And I said, if you add like a couple more bucks of that, make it equal 100, man, we'll be in good shape. So she added $66.20 to it, and here we go. So by the way, we'll have a really fun presentation at our next one as well. But we're zeroing in on like, $8,000 or $9,000. I don't know the final number yet. I'm not looking at it, but we're doing quite well. So thank you. Next slide, hound dogs or bears. I want to remind you, so you can get a Happy Jackson, cost you $20. If your Happy Jackson involves you letting us know about a grandkid, a kid, a son, a daughter, whatever, not only do you get to pick the bear or the hound dog for $20, but you get a congratulatory certificate welcoming them as the newest Rotary Club of Tucson members. So don't forget that. We've only had, I think, a couple of those since we started that. You guys get your grandkids to work or get to work yourself. Next up, the change of administration party is going to be at the Mountain Oyster Club. That's when we get rid of me and we welcome in this punk. And just let you know, there'll be some information that comes around on this. Remember, this is a private club, so there'll be a few things that are a little bit different, especially as it relates to cocktails and stuff. So the sign-up is now online. So you can sign up, and we'll have some more details on that as we go. Next up, the June schedule. So if you're wondering what things look like in June, next week, as you know, we're not meeting. We got a replacement social mixer. Then we've got our 2 lunch meetings. We got our close of administration thing. Then we got our final lunch meeting. Then we're going to be dark for a couple of weeks, and then we're back in July with Bruce. It's kind of interesting. I think Bruce was really smart. He would have been back here on the 6th of July, and I think everybody would really enjoy a nice little 4th of July holiday. So I think he decided that was a good way to go, and I think it's his best decision as a new incoming president, in my humble opinion. So speaking of Bruce, you want to talk about a little replacement mixer?
Just real quick, if you have not signed up yet, cutoff is this Friday. It's for Trident 3 there on Craycroft and Broadway. The menu is awesome, which I know will entice a lot of members in here. So please sign up if you haven't, and if you're going to bring a guest, make sure you sign them up as well.
Perfect.
Back to you, President Mark.
And then I think next we have Joe in with a Happy Jackson.
I'm right over here.
And then also after that, I want to get the mic to Jeannie, if you would, real quick. Jeannie.
Sure. Yeah, I'm expecting greatness already. That's when I'm standing next to Joe with the hook.
Boy, it's like the Grim Reaper. Okay, you see pictures from weddings, and when I saw this wedding picture, my wife said she wanted that picture on our mantle. And I said, I want to present that to my Rotary Club. So here's our family, my son, Mike, his bride, Jill. We had a wonderful time in Long Beach, California. You can see we have 2 of our boys, in fact, our redheaded family, my younger son, Joe, his wife, Catherine, our youngest, Jamie boy, and our oldest grandson, Eric the Great. So here they are.
So, Joe, the next one, let's get them up a little bit earlier so we can get them properly with a hound dog. And also, let's get them fishing. I mean, let's get after that.
Yeah.
So, Jeannie, you've got a quick announcement for us.
All right, thank you very much. You've seen a couple emails from me this last couple days, one about the ticket packets to please come and get them, or let me know when you want to come and get them. But the other one that's really, really important right now is we have Paleo, our Rotary Youth Exchange student, planning to come from Vigo, Spain, and he should be starting school the beginning of August, and we do not have a first host family yet. I realize that many of you, this is not fitting your life to be the first host family, but I'm wondering if you can think of families that would benefit, that maybe have teenagers that the student could go to school with them. We do need to get the school lined up, and that all depends on where our first host family is. We do have the middle host family. The first term, by the way, is the end of July, like the very end of it, through December. The second one we have covered from January through March, and then we will need a third host family. And the key is to have the student be in the same school all year. I would really appreciate if you would ask around. Let me know. I'm now back in town and I'll be around to work on this. And I know a number of people said they would ask, so it may mean asking and then following up and letting me know. Hope you will help get this pulled together, and we will have a great student coming from Vigo, Spain. And he will have a great time in our community because this is a great club. And a great
Jeannie, thank you.
town. Thank you.
Don't know yet.
We don't know.
Don't know yet. Got to figure out who the first host family is, and then that'll be determined. Okay, so I just want to thank everybody for joining us today, whether you're virtual or you're here in person. We hope you enjoyed the meeting. If you want more information about joining the greatest club in the world, just find somebody with a badge on. They'll be happy to talk to you about that. If you're interested in scholarships and students, those cups are on the table. Please be generous. If you're a sustaining member, thank you. Do me a favor. Don't forget to turn in your badge. And if you haven't gotten your doggone pin, you need to do that as well. Scott, happy birthday. Nancy, welcome to the club. Adrianna, Karen, thank you for a great presentation. Remember, as President Bruce Jacobs said, we're dark next week. We're going to be at Trident. If you haven't signed up for that, you need to do so. Next week, we're going to, as I mentioned, do our social mixer. The week after that, we're having the Tucson Conquistadors come in and talk to us. Jack Clements will be our keynote speaker, another Tucson treasure. Okay, time for that toast and adjourn. Here is to Angel Charity and to Karen and Adrianna. For 40 years, Angel Charity has made an incredible impact on so many youth-serving organizations in our community. If I'd guess, it's way over 1 million kids at this time at a minimum. You are impactful, you do it with such grace, and you set the bar in so many ways. We're fortunate to have you in our midst. Thank you for your enlightening presentation. We are adjourned. Hear, hear. Hey, Dot. Who's this person trying to compete with you?
That's what I thought too. Because look at this, it was 90. Emory was the rowdy type. So that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I think you could make that better. I mean, what is that? I mean, what do you know? I'm just saying.
You could make it better.
Okay. Vicki Jacobs. Hey, Vicki. Vicki. Chase building team.